Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafting with Janine. Today's video is going to be our first video in our Tumbler series. I said I was coming out with some new stuff and the Tumblers are going to be it. Part of the reason why I named myself Crafting with Janine. I know my previous videos have all been about doing hair bows, and now I'm jumping into the other end of what I do and how I do all that other stuff. So we're going to go into Tumblers. So this one's going to be all about what you need to make a tumbler, per se. Now, some of this stuff is not a necessity need. It is more of a personal preference. Other things are, yes, you are definitely going to need those, like your cups and stuff like that. So, start off, first thing you're going to need is a tumbler of some sort. And there are so many different shapes and sizes to the tumblers. Like, for instance, I'm getting ready to prep this one. This one is, I get all my cups through Stainless Steel Depot, and no, I am not sponsored or endorsed by them. That is just who I choose to buy all my cups from. The customer service, the shipping, it's me. There's other ones out there, Steel Magnolias, so many other cup suppliers, and it's all about who you decide you want to go with. And some of them have different style of cups in their repertoire. I think that's the word I want to use. Yes. So, there's so many different ones. So, you're going to want to figure out what cups you like to work with. Me personally, the ones that I have are the ones I like to work with. Like, this one here is, this one's a decorated one. It's a 32 ounce slim in their one, and it has like a taper to it. Then they have a 30 ounce skinny. This one's prepped, ready to go for me to do something to it. This one is finished, just needs to be boxed and put away. They have a 20 ounce skinny, which is a little bit smaller than the 30 ounce, and so on. The curved ones, this is, this one over here is not finished, but this one is a modern curve through theirs, which is got like a bit of it's wide at the top, narrow at the bottom, that type. So your cups are all up to you, and different suppliers sell slightly different styles, but they have a whole bunch, and I like what they have. So that's where I buy from. So that's the first thing you're going to need, obviously, to start is a cup. And then turners. I built my turners, and I really want to show you guys how to build them because they are so easy, and all the tools. Unfortunately, I have to modify the design because some of the parts that I used to make it, the manufacturer is no longer in business, so they do not make those parts anymore. So I have to figure out how to modify that, and once I do, I will show you guys how to build your own turners. They are so simple and easy. You don't have to have a whole lot of knowledge of woodworking and building to make them. So we're going to go to that. But I will link in the description below because I do have one. Where did I put it? Give me 1 second and I will pull it out. I have this one. It's not my one I use all the time. It's when I need to move and work in a different spot. Will I pull this one out? It works great, and I do love it. I just only have one of them, and then I mostly work here. So these are my stationary ones. So I will link description in below for some. I don't know if this one is still available, but I will link a couple of different types based off of, and you can choose from there. Again, personal preference on a pre-made turner, because some people will say that they don't like it because of this and they like it because of that, and it really all depends on personal preference, which is why I chose to build my own so that I knew what I was getting and I had what I wanted. The next thing you're going to need to do the tumblers, now there is another product out there which is not epoxy, and it's called Crystalac. I haven't used it, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but epoxy, that is what I use. And again, not sponsored, but this is just what I like. and it's called Clearcast 7000. I have gone through multiple brands of epoxy, from Alumilite to art resin to what was another one? A Little Extra, which is, I do not have a bottle from them. It's a littleextra.com is the site, and their epoxy is really good. What I like about this one is how it works and its price. These size bottles through their site are roughly about $40 all said and done with shipping, and you get this size bottle of each, your A and your B, and depending on how much you use it and how much you make, they last a little while. I couldn't even tell you, I haven't even done the real test on how many tumblers I get out of one go around, because I do different things with it, so it's not just tumblers that I'm making with it. So there's that one. I will link their website, which is the Epoxy Resin Store. I'll give you a couple of different ones, and you can choose based off of. And if you wanted to look on Amazon, there's a whole bunch on there, and you can buy smaller bottles. For me, there's multiple reasons why I pick what I pick. The price has a lot to do with it. How it mixes up, how many bubbles are in it. Now, this one, I will go over how I mix my epoxy in another video. I'm just running through what you need. This video might go on for a little while, and it might be all over the place, because that's just where my brain goes. It's like trying to go all over the place. But there's multiple reasons why, and I've gone through probably about 4 or 5 different brands of epoxy until I came across this one, tried it, and was absolutely in love with it. Like, for me, this is the one. Like, and other people will say that they have other ones, that's the one. But I like this one. Excuse me. And that's the one I choose to use. So you're going to need a type of epoxy. Some sort of spray paint. I say that only because prepping your tumblers, depending on what you want to do with it, if you're going to leave it just blank before you do anything to it, you're still going to want to sand it and prep it first, and not just take it out of the box and go, because it won't, the cups have they have a coating on them, and you got to get rid of the coating. So you have to do that. But then if you're going to glitter, that's another thing. If you choose to go glitter, I do not have half the amount of glitter of some people do. This is what I have. And I will leave some Amazon links, because I also get them in these little ones, because I'm a one-of-a-kind crafter, so I'm not buying big, bulky bottles of glitter of a certain color unless it's one that I use a lot of, like these ones, and I have ones, and the Glitter Chimp, this one, the Mother of Pearl, is a really killer color if you're going for a certain look, which is kind of, I don't have any right here that I've made, but we'll go over using some of them. I will leave a link to that website in my description below. Again, not endorsed. None of the stuff I have, I am endorsed by. The only thing is if you followed my bow videos, I am an Amazon affiliate, so if I do post an Amazon link in my description, if you purchase the item from that link, then I get a little kickback from Amazon. It's a percentage, and it just helps me to be able to get stuff for the channel, that type of stuff. Alcohol, 91% alcohol. You're going to want that, and it's got to be the 91, because 50%, 70% has too much water. Basically, what the percentage in alcohol is your refined alcohol to water ratio. So this one has 91% alcohol, 9% water. A 70 would have 70% alcohol, 30% water. 50, it's 50-50. So the more water you have in it, the less it functions for what you want it to. So, like, we use it in multiple things, and throughout the videos of doing tumblers, you'll see what I use the alcohol for. 91 is the one that you want to always get. You're going to need some sort of tumbler arm, which again, these are not important, but I will also be making a video showing you how I make mine, because each cup, their sizes differ. So it's not a one size fits all on these. They don't, and I like to use the pool noodles, and I like to make them the way that I do, because they don't get a wobble, and I get a pretty good fit for the most part with them. So I'm going to be making a video, and that will come very shortly after this, on how to make your own arm. Now, these aren't super important, but if you're going to use a turner, they are. If you buy a pre-made turner, they come with their own arms and foam parts, like the one that I showed you. You will need to you'll need to use those with it, unless you buy from, say, Etsy or something like that, and somebody who is selling ones that they've made, which you can search Etsy for ones that people that they've made them, and they're using either 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch PVC pipe for their arms. I prefer 3/4 inch. That's just a personal preference. Again, a lot of this boils down to personal preference. And again, I go on, and it's going to be a little all over the place. As far as prepping your cup goes, you're going to want some sort of primer spray paint. This one, I like how it covers. That's just again, a personal preference. This is the Rust-Oleum Flat White Primer, which is not a paint, it's just a primer, and it's just a prep for my cups. It's before I do anything to it. Krylon has one, and really personal preference, up to you what you choose to use. But those are things you're going to need to do to a cup before you even start decorating it. So it's a lot if you want to get in and you're just getting into it. If you've been doing tumblers for a while, then you want to see different techniques and stuff like that, I have those videos coming. My videos will be, they won't be the whole tumbler all in one video, because of the way I record. It's a personal way I like to record. So each step will be its own individual video, so that you can almost do it step by step with me. So I will run through, and then you could be working in the step, and then when you're ready to go, because a lot of the times we have a 12 to 24 hour overlap because of drying time. Depending on what you're using and how you're doing and all this other stuff, there's drying time in there. So they'll be set up like that, but they will all be uploaded back to back to back, so you'll be able to run through them all. I will pull out a few things throughout this series and stuff of random different things that I use versus what some others, and how I've adapted some things. Trying to think. You're going to need mixing cups for sure, and I will leave a link to an Amazon link for these. I got 500 of these for less than $5 on Amazon, which is great because I mix my epoxy directly in the cups, because I only mix up as much as I need for one cup. Unless I'm pouring a mold, then I'll mix for that, but I do not mix a whole lot of epoxy all in one shot, because it's heat activated, and once you get those two parts mixed, if you're not moving fast enough, it starts to set up, and then it is hard to work with. So I only mix just as much as I need, and then if I'm doing multiple cups at a time, I will mix for each individual cup their own batch, not a huge batch and try to rush it through. And something to stir with, I prefer the wide popsicle sticks versus the narrow ones. They introduce less bubbles, especially mixing in the cups. And when I get to it and show you how we mix up epoxy in another video, when I'm getting ready to do a project, then I will show you how I measure and how I mix, but I like these. I will leave a link for these in the description below. And I know I'm repeating that. Everything I mention, if I bought it off of Amazon, there will be a link in the description below. And while I'm at it, if you guys like this video, please hit a thumbs up. And please, in the comment section below, please let me know if there's a type of tumbler that you are wanting to learn how to make. You maybe saw it or something. Let me know, and if it is something that I have already done, I will definitely do it. If I have to do it myself, but I will get it, and I'll be able to get a video for you on that. Definitely in the comment section below, let me know what you want to see, and all of that, because I do one of a kinds, and I do some custom orders, but a lot of the stuff is just a random idea I pulled out of my head when I make something, and then I just run with it, and sometimes it comes out, and sometimes it doesn't, and I have to scrap it. Like, I'll show you a scrap. This one was a fail, and I had to redo it all over. So this cup needs to be stripped and redone, which it happens because it was a total fail. What else? I'm trying to think without overloading in this one video. I'm already about 15-16 minutes in. Baby wipes, just for wiping your hands. Paper towels, for sure. I also... rags. Old t-shirts, socks, something like... if you got an old t-shirt or stuff that's all holey or that... I cut them up into strips. Old towels. One that might be shedding, fraying, or just like overused. I cut them up into little pieces, and then I use them as rags. Because you're going to throw it out anyway, you might as well get another use out of it before you throw it away. Because I use it for epoxy cleanup, from paint spill cleanup. I mean, all over the place. You're going to need something to clean your hands, because you get epoxy on your hands, and that. Rubber gloves. And I have to put this disclaimer in there. Some sort of face mask. I'm going to encourage you to use a face mask, but because a lot of, over the years, I've been doing tumblers for a few years now. And I've heard people talk back and forth with different epoxies about the off-gassing smell, the horrible smell. They have horrible reactions to the epoxy. I personally have never experienced that with the ones that I use. And I do not overheat my epoxy, and I think that has something to do with it. But if you have any sensitivity, please use a face mask. That is just 100%. I use gloves when I'm working with epoxy only because I hate it on my hands, and it is horrible to get off. And you can only sugar scrub your hands so much before they're raw. So I use gloves. Tape, electrical tape. I guess a lot of the stuff I'm going to end up going over in each individual video, depending on what we're making at that time. I will also be doing a series of videos on how to make your decals. I use Cricut, so I will be using Cricut Design Space software. I will just show you how I figured out and how I learned and how I do mine. I will be doing a series of videos on that. I feel like I'm rambling, which kind of is, and I know some of you guys have always liked that I don't ramble. This video is just kind of like a prep and a precursor, kind of what you need. Like, there's so much stuff, I can't even go across it, and everything that I list is not something you have to grab right away. So, a few things, yeah, you're going to want to get. The baby wipes, alcohol, paper towels, gloves. That stuff to start off with. You don't even need a turner in the beginning. Because when I first started, I didn't have a turner. And I was hand turning mine. So, what I would do is I'll basically show you real quick how I used to hand turn mine. So, I would just have a dowel rod. And I would have it hooked to somewhere. And then, once I got my cup epoxied, I'd put the cup on there so that it was pretty like stable, like depending on how long. And then I would rotate my cup 180 degrees until the epoxy was no longer dripping. Every 5 minutes until it was no longer dripping. I had to sit there and babysit the cup for about 2 hours. So it is way easier with a turner because there's no babysitting required. So you might want to get your hands on one of those, but they have gotten cheaper since when I first started. When I started, they were pretty up there in price. Now you can pick up a turner on Amazon for $20 to $25, and they work. So, trying to think. I don't believe that I have much else as far as that goes. Like I said, in later videos, I will go over the different cups. I will be making a turner arm video on how you make that. I will be showing you the different style of cups. I just wanted to do that one. Like, this one is a peekaboo wood grain that I did. Show you how I do my wood grains. This one's the tangram that I made. I have other ones that are just glittered. We will be doing each individual one. There's going to be so many Tumbler videos. You guys might get sick of me on those because they're going to come out. And they're going to come out pretty frequently back to back. So, once again, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video and it didn't bore you too bad. And please hit a thumbs up. If you hit the thumbs up, it helps us creators out a whole lot. And subscribe if you haven't already and hit that little bell notification because I am not the most regimented uploader. So I do not upload on the same day of the week. And sometimes I might go a few weeks without an upload. And that is because I get busy with family and all that other good stuff. So please hit that bell. And in the description below, along with all the links that I mentioned, I'm going to be putting a link to my PayPal if you wanted to donate money to the channel, because the next large group of videos does get a little expensive, and to help me offset some and to be able to keep kicking them out to you, if you wanted to help by donating, anything you can always helps. Because I am not sponsored by any of these things that I said. I am not sponsored by anybody, so it's all you guys, your views, everything is what helps keep me and keep this going. I do love all my subscribers. You guys are all amazing group of people. And a link to my Facebook group where there is an amazing group of people in there that so far I've just done bow videos, so they were all there to help out with that. And we are going to have a bunch of people with cups. It's a no drama group. We are all there to help. Any question is askable. Nobody is going to say anything to you. And before I sign off today, I just want to throw this one note in there that creativity is not a competition. It's not a competition. We are all creative in our own ways. We all do very similar stuff. So just be positive and don't feel discouraged if you can't do what somebody else might have done. It always takes practice. None of us did this on day one and were perfect on it. Like these ones, I had to do, I don't even know how many times I had to redo it until I got it just right. And that was from applying the decal and doing all each individual little squares and that and everything. Like I said, a fail. It doesn't always come out the first time, so do not feel discouraged and do not think that you can't do it because it didn't come out the first time or the second time or the third. Just keep at it until you get it, because you will get it. And it is fun to just keep trying. Again, creativity is not a competition. That is not my quote. I heard it from another creator and I loved it and I just had to share it with you guys. So again, big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, happy crafting!